Namathu Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today is 19th, Wednesday, the 19th of May 2021. And this is Achan Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, I'm here with you all tonight. Hello, Margaret. Good evening, and good evening, everyone. So this week in Scotland is known as the Mental Health Awareness Week, and which I think is really needed. I noticed in the past that people were talking a lot about mental health and support, but when it come down to the numbers, normally speaks on how many food been distributed and how many organizations been set up to distribute food around. But there are very little or almost none any organization who is actively helping mental health or supporting people in relation to the mental health. And there are some organizations who are trying to use. There are a few organizations using the platform to communicate and also to talk and give some guidance in relation to that. And in this case, due to this mental health awareness, I just would like to inform whoever is listening as well, that our center have done, all year around of daily talk and guided meditation, and as well as supporting whoever wanted to talk and whoever wanted to discuss on any situation, any stories. So in a way, I in particular feel very honored and privileged to be as a monk and able to support so many people and able to reach in particular this COVID-19 time throughout the world and helping people, even the suicidals and heartbrokens and family brokes and so on. So it's really important that this issue is introduced, not just like a 1 week of mental health awareness, but it needs to be done regularly so that people will not feel that it is not a taboo or nowhere to go and get the help from. So, and the center is open to you all. All you need is to dial or text or want to speak with the monks. Our center is open 24/7 days. And that's the temple and monasteries is about. Building a monastery is not easy. It's not hard. It's very easy if there is a monk and there is pious devotees who would like to contribute towards the establishing a center. But maintaining it and keeping going is not that easy. And also providing a support to the community, even it's harder. But however, our center, despite being a small and a small number of supporters and a small number of monastics, the center is able to support a number of people in the mental health sector, supporting in different ways. Thank you very much, Margaret. I'm so glad to hear that you are getting help from our service. So this is, that's why I think it's a really important message to put forward, so that everybody aware mental health is really severe going on, and we need help. And our center and the monks are quite happy to support and help anybody who is in need. Meanwhile, in relation to that mental health week, we are having this Interfaith Mindful Day on the 23rd, which is going to Sunday the 23rd, which is going to start at 2 o'clock, and we are going to set up a marquee where about 15 people are able to be. So if weather is bad, and then 15 people, those who have registered, will be able to sit inside the marquee, but not those who are not registered. But you are most welcome to wander around in our garden and in our woodlands if you wish to. So just be prepared, bringing your willies and brollies for the showering rains, if not the sunshine. Hello Manish. I hope you're keeping well as well. So these are the two things. And meanwhile, on the 26th is the Vesak celebration. The celebration, which is one of the very important celebration in Buddhist calendar, celebrating Buddha's birth, his enlightenment, and his passing away. So 3 days on the same day, celebrating. So on that day, we will be performing few chantings and talks on live Facebook talks going on as well. Good evening, Yvonne. Good evening, Kalpana. I hope everyone is keeping well. So this is just a few news, and on the 29th we're going to have a one-day retreat, online one-day retreat, with a few monks coming to give talks. And if you would like to join that, then again you are most welcome. Just text me to get the Zoom link. And then on the 30th we are going to have not ourselves, but the I will be on behalf of the center joining with the Lumbini Nepalese Buddha Dharma Society, organizing the Vesak celebration, online Vesak celebration, in which one of the very famous monk from Thailand is invited to give a talk on Buddhism and how to let go, the art of letting go. So if you would like to join even that celebration, again, you can text me, and then I will send you a link for that day too. Okay. So these are some of the informations, just to pass it on. And I also would like to extend my gratitude and thanks to everyone who has generously contributed towards the buying this new fridge, which is going to arrive tomorrow, hopefully, if not any problem. I got the text saying that due to delivery is tomorrow. But quite funny though, is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and you never know when it's coming to be. Yeah, but anyhow, so thank you everyone for your generous donation, and it's already covered for this fridge. Okay, so thank you. Right, so today again, after one day of a break, we're coming back to the same topic of this and the qualities of the Buddha that we are focusing on. And so far I have explained, anybody remember how many? So 5. Yeah? So 5 qualities of the Buddha I have already explained. So another 4 remains. And the first one is Arahang, that is the pure one. Samma Sambuddho, the perfectly enlightened one. Vijja Charana Sampanno is impeccable in conduct and understanding. Sugato, the accomplished one, Loka Vidhu, the knower of the worlds. So these are the 5 qualities that I have explained. And then now another 4 is anuttaro purisadamma sarathi, which is he trains perfectly those who wish to be trained. Sattha deva manusanam, he is the teacher of gods and humans. And Bhagava, he is fully awake and holy. So the 4 qualities are left. Just to chant, so I will chant it for you so you can remember. It's called Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijja Charana Sampanno Sughato Loka Vidhu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarathi Sattha Deva Manusanam Buddho Bhagavati. Okay, so these 9 Buddha's qualities. And I have explained saying that the first 4 qualities are the attainment of himself, or perfecting himself by attaining those qualities and overcoming all the defilements and establishing perfectly on the path. Suppose if you want to teach anybody, you have to be perfectly known on that subject. Otherwise, you will be not regarded as the right one. Yeah, like that. So Buddha had walked, practiced, and understood in its fullest, and that's how he is known as the greatest human beings on earth. And then Loka Vidhu, he is the knower of the world of these animals, world of humans, world of the celestial beings, and particularly the human beings. He knew what kind of a temperament humans have, what type of a mindset they have, and how to deal with them and how to teach them. Yeah. And how to deal with. So that is the knower of the world. On the basis of that, the next quality, which is the anuttaro purisadamma sarathi, he trains perfectly those who wish to be trained, comes. And that's again, here, remember, those who wish to be trained. Now, Buddha is not going around and teaching everybody whoever meets on the street. This is one of the instructions to venerable monks, that when monks are going out, they are not supposed to teach people the Dhamma. They are not supposed to proclaim the Dhammas to anybody on the street or on even any meetings, unless someone has asked, and only then you will be telling about the Dhamma. And again, when somebody asks you, doesn't mean that you have to speak immediately, checking the environment, checking the situation, whether that is conducive or not, and only then you can tell it. I remember a few years ago, I was traveling in London, and then traveling, I was in what's called London Bridge, by the London Mayor's office, and I was having a small rest with my friend. There was a bunch of young lads came and was talking about different things, and one of them came and said, "Oh, do you know that what is the most important things in human life?" And I knew that their intention wasn't the question; it was about intimidation. So rather than he knew that I was a monk. So rather than I reply them, "What is it?" Then I simply ask, what do you think? I think every one of us has got a different meaning. And that immediately gave him a chance to speak out that I knew that even the monks didn't know. So that was his response. Yeah? So he was very proud among his friends that monks are not capable of replying his question. So like that. So that's why even though sometimes when you are asked to speak about the teachings, you need to be mindful of the situation and a person too. That's why if you notice, monks will never talk about the Dhamma unless you are asked to. And that is what the Buddha was talking about here. He's saying that those who wish to be trained, only he will train. Yeah? And in this case, when we look at that, there are people in many different types. Yeah, people are in many different types, and here the stories. I try to remember the story. This story is so brilliant. I love it. It's called Alavaka, the non-human. He was a non-human, and I call it a carnival. He was a carnival during the time of the Buddha. And basically, he was emptying the village, and the villagers have to offer him, a human like that. And one day came to Buddha's vision that this Alavaka of carnival can be tamed. And then with that, the Buddha traveled to his quarter, this Alavaka's quarter. And then it is said that during that time, Alavaka was having sunbathing immediately after his lunch. So, and then having seen that he is having a rest, the Buddha entered to his chamber and sat down on his chair. And then the moment when it happened that a servant came and cleaned the room, he noticed that, somebody is here with a bald head. So he rushed to tell his master, Alavaka Yaksha, the carnival, and then Alavaka become a very ferocious, comes down and then goes into, who this bald-headed samana, go out, how dare you sit? And the Buddha, he said nothing. Okay. So he stood and went out. And then as soon as the Buddha went out from the room, and he said, stop, bald head, come in. And the Buddha said, okay, so be it. So he comes in. And as soon as he comes into the chamber, and then he again said, stop, you bald head, go out. And the Buddha simply turns back and says, so be it, and goes out. And as soon as the Buddha stepped out from the door, this Alavaka would again said, stop, come in. And Buddha said, okay, so be it. So he comes in. He was playing with the Buddha like a baby. And Buddha was pretending like a baby, one who doesn't know anything. He didn't have any prejudice or any demonstration of any power at all. Whatever this Alavaka was saying to him, he was simply going out and coming in. And at the third time, the Alavaka, the carnival, told him to go out. And Buddha said, no, I'm not going out anyway. I'm tired. Then this Alavaka said, okay, so if you're not going, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you can answer, then I will spare you. But if not, then I will make you my lunch. Anyone is ready here? I'm going to ask you a question. If you can't, then you will be my lunch tomorrow. So I will be Alavaka carnival. So And then Buddha said to the Alavaka that there is none who could defeat or who could make me as a meal. But however, go ahead. And that's how he put the question. What is the greatest wealth on earth? So I will leave you to decide, and I will leave you to answer. Whoever is here listening, what is the greatest wealth on earth? Yeah? And the second is, what is the greatest test? Yeah, what is the greatest test? Test is like the food test. Okay, what is the greatest test? I'm not going to answer these questions. I will wait from you all. Right? And then the Buddha answered that, and then he was very satisfied, and that's how he gave up being a carnivore, and then he became a disciple of the Buddha, and gradually he learned to practice meditation, and eventually he even get the liberation. Okay, so that was a Alavaka. And another story is Angulimala, one of the serial killers in a history. So you would not imagine that this one single guy had killed over 1,000 people. Yeah? Over 1,000 people. His task was to kill 1,000 people and count as an offering to his teacher. And as a good student, he hid. So he was hiding in the forest, and whoever passes through the forest, he was killing them. Yeah, and then killing, and he was counting initially, and then after killing for some, he miscounted. He was confused. So, and after that, he made a decision that okay, he will take one thumb of each person, and he began to collect the thumbs and then make a garland. So that's how he is known as a person with the finger garland, become Angulimala. He was a serial killer. He was killing people. And it happened at the end. He came across with the Buddha. And a Buddha was told by the villagers that do not go through that road because the Angulimala is waiting to kill anyone who passes through. That on that day, Buddha had seen the vision that he could help him. So that Buddha didn't listen to the villagers and went through, and Angulimala chased him to kill so that he could get this last finger and fulfill his task and go back to his teacher for the last task to be completed. But rather than killing the Buddha, he was chasing the Buddha, but he couldn't catch the Buddha, and then he said, "Stop." So he basically told the Buddha to stop. And then the Buddha said, "I have stopped. You need to stop." So Buddha replied. And then Angulimala said that, "Oh, you're lying. You're still walking. How could you say that you have stopped?" And the Buddha used a word saying that, "No, I mean I have stopped killing, but you haven't." And that very moment, he dropped his a sword and take a refuge, and Buddha gave him teachings, and that's how he became the followers of the Buddha, and later on he became the liberated one too. So with that, so the Buddha was able to tame a person who is very difficult to be tamed. And as a result of that, he is known as the great charioteer, or the one who could tame people or non-human beings, and doesn't matter how difficult they are to be tamed. He's there to tame to the right path, so that they will be free from the troubles and attain the liberation. So in a similar way, there are so many other stories, like a Patachara, a lady who lost her husband, her 2 sons, and her families due to the flood. So her husband was died due to the snake bite, and her 2 sons were taken away by the flood. So does her families, father and mother and brothers. And she lost her mind, and no one could tame her. And that in that case, when she came across with the Buddha, Buddha simply says, "Sister, be mindful." And that's how Buddha tamed her and able to be enlightened. Similar way, there are other stories like a Kisa Gotami who lost her son, only son, and a Buddha gave him different tasks to train her, and then eventually she was tamed. To tame the Yvonne, I have to ordain you so that you will be tamed. Right, okay, so I think this is the anuttaro purisadamma sarathi. He is known as the incomparable teacher on that case. So with this, I will end here for tonight's talk. May you all be well and happy. May the Buddha Dhamma Sangha bless you. May you, in a few moments' time, we are going to have evening chanting and guided meditation. You're most welcome to join with us. Until then, good night and see you shortly. Sadhu, and thank you everyone.